Good evening or good afternoon, as a matter of fact, boys and girls, men, women, and children of all ages. Jive Sports. This is a very special occasion for me because got two different pods. We got a little three-way here. Um, George has been on before. Keith's basically my new co-host. He's more reliable than Skylar and Brandon. Um, but Tim's making his first appearance here. These are the Valley Sports guys and Keith from 411. I'll let them introduce themselves and go ahead. Go ahead with Keith.
What's going on? Glad to be back on with you, Zach. I feel like being reliable is nice, but I haven't been on in a minute also. So glad to still be one of the people that's seen as more reliable. Of course, Keith Boggs. Y'all can check us out at 411 Lions, a podcast I do with my sister. Shout out to CB, by the way. She's great. She puts together a lot of the work, technical stuff behind the scenes. I guess I'm the knowledge guy, if you want to call me that. But yeah, check us out, 411 Lions, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, anywhere you can find your podcast, Apple Podcasts, things like that. But yeah.
Cool.
Valley, George, Tim.
What's going on, everyone? My name is George from Valley Sports Pod. To my right is my best friend, Timmy, of over 20 years. And usually we have a man behind the cam, our Google, the guy with all the answers, Nick, but he's not with us today,
Unfortunately.
but we're here and we're excited.
Yeah.
We've been on before, so check us out at Valley Sports Pod. We're on TikTok, YouTube, all the fixins, as you would call them. All the fixins.
Yeah, and just to put it on a record, Nick is my favorite Valley Sports guy. He's the best one. So I guess the plan for the he really is. So the plan for this show, we're gonna make it half hour, 45 minutes, just talking about the free agency chaos of the week. Um, we'll let Keith is the Lions fan. Timmy, unfortunately, is a Jets fan, and we're not. I'm not really interested in hearing what George has to say. Everything he's going to say is going to piss me off, so we'll skip him.
honestly, I might surprise you today. So
Oh, really?
just hold your horses. Don't worry.
Can we just point out our Zach, you may not have seen, our friend Peter was on once and we were texting in our chat recently and George goes, likely to Giants, and he goes, who's likely to go to the Giants? And we were like, we hate you so much. You know what we're talking about. But yeah, to jump into my Jets grief more than I already have. The Geno Smith situation, we talked about it earlier on our episode this week, and I just don't understand. Like, you have all these guys saying, like, oh, Geno's a good gap year QB, and like, blah, 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 all that. I just am like, what was the point of the trade when who was going to scoop him up? Is my question. Was there going to be anybody who was like, you know what, we could really use this year? A Geno Smith type. And I'm like, whatever, because sixth round picks can still do things, is my biggest point in it. But I've grown to accept that that is going to be what this year is. Who knows? Maybe he'll give us a little bit of fun. Probably not.
Didn't you guys trade the pick that it turned into Antonio Brown for Santonio Holmes?
Don't remind me. Not remind me. In fairness, Santonio gave us 3 good years, and we didn't. He was crazy though too. After a while,
Yeah, I know. That's what playing for the Jets does to you.
Or being a wide receiver, because Antonio Brown went crazy. He never played for the Jets.
Yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
So, I mean, overall, because you guys got a lot of picks, the Jets have a lot of picks. That's one of the few things I think they did well was offloading some of those. Yeah, and obviously in our little group chat, I've made the decision for the Jets to just draft 5 quarterbacks. Just get it right.
One's got to be good, right?
You would think, but it's all about the developing process, and they don't know how to do that.
So overall, I don't know every little Jets pick, but do you like some of these besides Geno Smith that you've just mentioned? Is there anything that you think they've done well?
So I think personally, trading Jermaine Johnson for that guy from Tennessee is huge. Because as good of an edge rusher as Jermaine Johnson is, there's plenty of edge rushers in the draft, and they have the number 2 overall pick. So draft an edge rusher, that was the thing I was big on, because he was going to want too much money and everything. So I love that move.
So you're talking about Joseph Osai?
Yeah, there you go. And it's just, I don't expect anything this upcoming year, regardless. I'm happy that Garrett is under contract. I'm
Poor
happy
guy.
that Sauce is gone because, yeah.
What about Brees? Did you like the franchise tag? Or you thought it was a waste?
I think it's a little bit of a waste, but I also understand it.
Yeah, I mean, who are you really going to franchise tag?
Exactly. So it all makes sense. I mean, not all of it because Geno Smith's going to be our starter, but I'll pass it over to you guys. I don't want to take up all.
I just, the Jets are so funny to me. Aaron Glenn, man, I was supposed to be on your guys' show like a week ago, but I'm the unreliable one who makes plans and bails. But Aaron Glenn's had a pretty interesting month or so when he came out and said his superpower is play calling, and then you're at the combine and you're taking naps. It's not the best time for that.
So it's like I wanted to like him so bad, ex-Jet and everything.
You have to, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's even, and I said this the other night, our so-called culture he was trying to build, the only thing I agreed with was when he was trying to trade Brees and Casey was like, we'll give you a fourth. And he's like, no, you have to give us at least a third. So I agreed with that. But everything else, I'm just like, all you did was get worse and worse. And the fact that you have the gall to come out and say, play calling is my superpower is absurd.
So, last thing about the Jets, I guess, for a second is
You guys are picking on me.
who would you like to see them draft with their, what do they got, like two first rounds or 3 first rounds or something? Who would you like to see them get?
I think Bailey would be great for you guys. Texas A&M.
Yeah.
No, Texas Tech, excuse me.
Texas Tech, Bailey.
David Bailey's freaking good. In the playoffs, he was all over the freaking field that game against Miami. He was literally the only player on Texas Tech that showed up that day.
So that's my big number one guy. I have to continue to do my research because I am not the biggest college person to begin with. So like this is the time where I start doing like, okay, so I like, this guy and Brett Favre.
Well, as long as you guys don't take Jeremiah Love, you'll be fine.
Yes, that is.
That'd be awesome.
Please God no.
or Dante Moore.
He's not in the draft.
Oh yeah, whatever.
because of the Jets, he was so afraid of going to the Jets that he said, "I'm staying a year." All right, Keith.
Gonna stay another year anyway.
Well, yeah, his draft stock kind of plummeted in that Indiana game. But Keith, Lions, fill me in, bud. What do you want to see? How have you liked? I love the Montgomery trade for you guys. I like the Pacheco pickup. You got guys, Decker and some guys retiring and leaving, and all your thoughts. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so there's like two trains of thought, I feel like, with the Lions, because obviously there's the offense, which even with the struggles last year was still fifth in scoring in the league. And they still got guys, they got weapons. I still have some faith in Jared Goff. He's a good quarterback. And they are making some moves with the offensive line. It seems pretty clear that they're setting themselves up to draft one of these tackles in the first round. So I like some of the moves that they're making on the offensive side of the ball. They signed a lot of depth on the offensive line, which was really one of the issues that we had was when a lot of guys started to get hurt or Graham Glasgow, guys like that were struggling. We just didn't have depth behind them and we were picking up guys off the street. So at this point, it seems like they've decided, okay, we need to have like some decent level guys behind those guys, which is nice that they've built that. So I still like what the Lions are doing on the offense side of the ball. I think it'll be one of the best offenses in the league again. Pacheco was a pretty good replacement for Montgomery. Montgomery's better, but Pacheco can do like a little bit of the short yardage situations, a little bit of pass blocking, things like that. Really just giving Jahmyr Gibbs a break because Jahmyr Gibbs is so great. Everybody wants to give him 30 carries a game, and I just don't think that's the best way to use him. So
Right.
we're good with the offensive side of the ball. The issue is the defensive side of the ball. I'm not really sure why Brad Holmes is just like, Aiden Hutchinson can rush the passer and nobody else. We don't need anything else. Like they are not going out and getting anybody on the other side. They consistently brought in guys who are injury prone, guys who are journeymen, and they've gotten a little bit of production out of those guys. But at some point, it's like you got to go out and get another guy to play on the opposite of Aiden Hutchinson, and they just I don't know what the plan is. I still don't get it. And I'm not saying they got to fake trade for Max Crosby and then back out or go get Trey Hendrickson or something like that. But just a starter level player is what we're trying to figure out if the Lions could get. They literally don't have any edges on the roster that have played significant snaps outside of Aiden Hutchinson. Like, we don't even have guys that we could say are bad. They just don't exist.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit questionable there, but some of the other moves have been fine. They've been signing a lot of depth in the secondary. Obviously, that's been our biggest issue in the past couple of years is the cornerbacks kind of just die like mid-season, and we don't have anybody to cover
Yeah.
anybody. So they've increased the depth. They've done those things again. I like some of the second level moves they're making. I just am confused why they will not go out and get. They need multiple pass rushers, and yeah, they just aren't doing it. So I'm not sure what the plan is. I don't know if they're going to try and do something in the draft. I don't know if they got something up their sleeve, but that's kind of the only disappointing thing. Other than that, they have a pretty good roster. So they have a good roster. They got good coaching. I feel okay.
Is there anybody specific that you would like them to grab in the draft if they're available? I'm not sure where you guys are picking.
We're picking like at 17, like right in the middle, which I don't really see
That's
anybody
tough.
that I think, yeah, I don't see anybody that's like an immediate Mesidor from Miami. I think is a guy that's pretty interesting. He's a really big guy. The Lions typically like to have guys who can play the run and the pass. I would say Aiden Hutchinson, so that could work. But it seems like they're setting themselves up to draft a tackle at this point because they've signed so much depth on the offensive line and are keeping that one tackle spot open. So I don't know if that's the move. I love Ruben Bain from Miami, but I think that he's another
Yeah.
guy that's probably going to go really, really high.
Yeah.
And he
He's
should.
gonna go top 10.
Yeah, I think so too.
Even though people
Yeah.
are freaking out about his arms length.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like, can the guy play football or can he not? And clearly he can. And I'm not saying he's going to be the next Aaron Donald or whatever it may be, but you have these people who question the measurables. They don't look a certain type of way.
People need there's nothing much to talk about in the offseason, so they're finding any little thing they can to, like, create a conversation. I was having this conversation yesterday or maybe the day before about the Lions. I'm not exactly sure what their cap situation is, but I know when they paid, Sewell, he was, like, the highest paid at his position. Then they Goff is one of, like, top 3 highest paid at his position. St. Brown is top 3 or 5 in his position. Then they gave JMO a nice contract, was it $90,000,000 for 4 years or something like that. And then you got Gibbs' contract coming up, you got Campbell's, Laporta's, Branch, and I was telling my girlfriend because she's getting more and more into it, wondering why people are leaving. How come they can't do this? I'm like, well, look, when you're good and you got all these great players and you've drafted well, you got to start paying them. So you want to win while they're on their rookie contracts. But I was kind of under the impression, just based on, because like I said, I don't know the cap, I didn't look it up. But based on what I know from those contracts when they were signed, they were like 4 of those guys I mentioned were top 3 or 5 at that position, and you can't they're already asking guys to restructure. I mean, they just restructured Jared Goff's, so I wonder if it's a cap issue. That's why I liked the Montgomery trade because they got a lineman from the Texans, and they got 2 picks, right? It was like a 3rd and a 5th or something. I thought that was great because you're gonna have to do something in the draft. I don't know if they have enough money to go out and grab a sidekick to Hutchinson or not.
Yeah, and that's a great point because again, there's only so much they can do. That's why when people are like, "Oh, go get Max Crosby, sell the farm," like we can't pay everybody in the league. Like you said, like we got a lot of guys at high level positions. Even Lee McNeil, another guy who signed like a 4-year, $98 million extension, and Kirby Joseph, who we don't know what's going on with his knee right now. He's making $20 million a year. So,
Wow.
yeah, we couldn't go out and get a Jalen Phillips or a top of the market kind of guy. I just want to see them get somebody who's decent. Again, it may be the draft. I'm not exactly sure who was available in free agency at this point. Because there are a lot of names that went for way more money. Like a Boye Mafe would have been a decent fit, but I think he got like 16, $18 million a year. That might have been a little bit rich for the Lions price. So I think Brad Holmes is bargain bin hunting and hoping to find somebody, and he might find a gem, but he's going to have to put together one of those draft master classes that he put together in 2022 again because I don't know who's going to play opposite of Hutch.
and this is some credit. I hate having to do this, but out of curiosity, I was looking at the Eagles defense because they have a pretty good defense, and there's only 2 guys on their defense that's making over 10 million. I mean, they're gonna have to pay those guys coming up because a lot of them are young and everything. But right now, there was like a Michael or I can't remember. There's like 2 guys. One's making like 13, one's making 15. And that's insane for how good they are. Um, but yeah, um, we're gonna skip George. No, I'm kidding. Go. So that's the Lions. George, lay it on me. What are you thinking, bud?
Give it to us.
For the record, Keith,
Say-
me and George are like on opposite ends usually as on the Giants fandom spectrum, but hopefully here we can find some common ground. Sorry, George, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, shots have been fired by Harbaugh, and he came in and put his foot down, and they've made nothing but great moves to start this offseason. All I'm saying is, don't F it up by taking a running back 5th overall, and I'm happy with everything they've done.
I just don't understand what the reasoning would be behind drafting a running back.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Maybe they're not telling us how its Scott's injury is worse than it is, but
Or they're just scared of his shelf life.
I guess that too.
I'm worried about.
That's still.
I'm scared of it too, but why waste a 5th
No, you can't do
overall
that.
pick when it's proven year after year that you can find running back talent later in the draft?
Yeah, definitely.
We have Tracy, who's solid. You're telling me you can't find a mid to average running back to split with Tracy in the later rounds? You have to get Jeremiah Love.
No,
man.
I would
Honestly,
be.
I'm just hoping the Titans.
He's
I'm hoping the Titans take him at 4, so we don't have to worry about it. Because I've been hearing things like that. So
My favorite, I love old school style football. I probably told you guys, I think I've told Valley, but when I play Madden, I run the ball almost every single play. That's how I love just running the ball and taking people's souls. So my favorite signing this offseason for us was the fullback Picard.
Pat Ricard.
I was just watching some Mike Allstott videos and stuff. Man, I'm hyped up. I'm hyped up. Who wants to get in the way of that?
No one. But I'm telling you this right now. Likely is going to be such a great signing for us. A tight end like that is really going to open up this field. This is why I really want us to take Tate from Ohio State, Carnell Tate at the 5th overall pick. Because I feel like even Neighbors, as great as he is, he's still coming off an ACL. You now put a receiver next to him that has that intangibles, the Ohio State background. You know he's going to be great in the NFL. Put him opposite Neighbors where they're not going to be able to double Neighbors at all times, and then have a guy like Likely running routes. It's just open up this offense for Dart. Just make it easy for him. Give him another weapon.
And
Tate,
Theo's a
100%. Theo's a great player too. Just got to work on those hands. If just sometimes he drops a little bit too many passes, but Theo has been great. His rookie year was a little underwhelming, but last year he was very solid. Very solid.
he's a mismatch nightmare for people. He's huge and he's fast. He came in as a raw product, but look who he's had at quarterback. You know, he had Russell for 3 games last year, and you got Jackson in and out with concussions and things like that. So I wasn't at first initially happy about the Likely signing because we had just lost Wandale the same day, and I'm watching all these wide receivers going different places and stuff. And Likely, I bring up his stats, 4 years in the league, and he's got like 1,500 yards. So, but from what I understand, because I had to do a little bit of homework on him, he is considered one of the better, better blocking tight ends in the league. So, I love guys like that just play their role and give it their all. If he does that for us, and I'm a fan. The second you're signed to the Giants, I'm a fan. I got your back. That's why I don't like when George badmouths them.
I'm going to say one thing. I am so happy we're free of Graham Gano. We finally got a kicker that won't injure himself before the game, and then we're magically kicking with our punter.
Well, he was the best kicker in the league a couple years back.
Yeah. Joe Schoen saw he was the best kicker in the league in 2018 and thinks that's him every year.
He literally averaged like 20 fantasy points.
But also,
But
George,
I'm happy he's gone.
we're also on the same page because I've been saying I want to get a receiver here. Cardinal Tate would be great. I like, you can't let Neighbors be a 180 target guy. He needs someone to take
Yeah.
some pressure off. You got to give the defense something else to think about. So I would be ecstatic to get a top wide receiver. So we're on the same page, George.
Uh,
Wow.
I'm
This
not.
is a new occurrence.
I'm not a fan of Tyson though, because his injury history does scare me. From Arizona State, as great as he's looked, he's gives me a little bit of a scare with his injuries. That's all we need is another injury-prone receiver.
What do you guys think of? What do you think about Makai Lemon, the kid who was like with the weird interview face?
I love him. I thought he was going to go late first, but he's getting a lot of hype. I think I could see a team taking him in like the late teens, just because of how much like the receiving drafting has gone over the years. Like, if you guys remember, like back before like 2016, 2017, it wasn't this known for rookie receivers to come in and dominate. Like Odell was an outlier.
Yeah.
He wasn't the narrative. Then you got guys like Jefferson and Chase
These guys
coming
who
in the
come
league, getting in
are
1,400
automatically top
yards.
5 in their
Like,
position.
It's just the receiving position has changed so much now. Taking a receiver in the top 20 is going to be a lot more often. Like CeeDee Lamb's coming in and doing all the. I could see Makai Lemon going to late teens, even though before the season ended, he was supposed to be like a late first, sneak early second type receiver because he's short. He's got great route running. Plays at USC is slowly becoming a wide receiver U, top 3 wide receiver U. When putting him in there with the LSU's, the Ohio States, like the USC receivers have been dominating the league low key for like the last 5-10 years.
Honestly, yeah, I agree. I was just gonna say another example I could think of because it was before like the time Kenny Britt when he was a rookie, until he threw that gun in the river.
Yep.
He was.
I remember Kenny Britt or Justin Blackman.
I don't remember. Justin Blackman.
That's another throwback.
Corey Davis.
Corey Davis. Yeah. Hey, he had a decent year for the Jets that one time.
That one time.
Yeah, that one year when they signed him to like a 5-year, $90 million contract.
For whatever reason, I feel like with Corey Davis, didn't he have like a Brandon Marshall game where they targeted him like 20 times and it was just like a crazy outlier game I'm thinking about, and then never did anything after that?
So what happened was that A.J. Brown came in to Tennessee and really opened up the field, and as a wide receiver 2, facing secondary corners, he had an amazing year, and the Jets signed him to be their wide receiver 1, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, that was also the year Elijah Moore was a rookie, and he did fairly solid.
Talk about Elijah Moore. That was the most wrong I've ever been on a player. I took him in the 5th round of a dynasty startup that year over Garrett Wilson, rookie Garrett Wilson.
I mean, I actually thought that once like the second year of Wilson happened, I was like, maybe he could like truly unlock this guy, because as sad as it is to say, there were some flashes of hope of Zach Wilson in his rookie year.
The craziest thing about Elijah Moore is that he was at Ole Miss, was on an offense with DK Moore and AJ Brown. DK Metcalf, excuse me. DK Metcalf and AJ Brown. And he was putting up insane numbers. He was disgusting at Ole Miss. And he showed it early in his Jet career, and then just never was the same.
He was supposed to be a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So I kind of like Cardinal Tate too, just because I like tall guys. I think he's 6'2", 6'3", or something like that. But so let's kind of look at the bigger picture of the whole NFL, some of the bigger signings, and I guess it's kind of hard to have this conversation without first starting with the Max Crosby, Raiders Ravens situation. Keith,
them take their first round picks away.
Keith, what are your thoughts on the whole situation?
Yeah, definitely a bit of a mess. I understand the Ravens' thought process, but yeah, I just feel like it was very messed up. Like, I don't feel like, and the Ravens have such a high reputation, I guess, as a front office, to where maybe it won't hurt them too much, but like something like that to me just it doesn't feel right. Like, everybody knew that Crosby had knee issues. Like, there was a surgery that went on, he was expected to recover, but it would have shown up like on a physical. And the Ravens had to have known that beforehand. So to play the whole physical card, I just thought was strange. But I think they got cold feet about giving up 2 first-round picks, which kind of is a lot. But also, if you're going for it, which I think the Ravens have so many other needs to fill that they really need to go for it anyway. And I think that they recognize that. It was really slimy. It was really slimy, and it was interesting to see the Raiders still be able to take Crosby back. And who knows what that team looks like because they signed a million guys and then they got Crosby back. So
I was gonna say, like, how is he gonna take that? Feel like, yeah, you guys traded me. Like, I don't feel the same about you, but I don't know.
yeah, I wonder does he like look at it like excited now that they have more pieces?
Yeah. Or could he be pissed off? Be like, feel a little hurt that they were gonna dip out on him. But
Well,
just
at the end of the
theories.
day, it's a business. But my problem
True.
is that you played your hand when you went out and signed Trey Hendrickson 12 hours after failed the physical.
Yeah.
You pretty much are screaming like, "Oh man, we did not want to give up our first round picks. We feel like idiots."
Yeah.
And it's bad. I honestly, I think the Raiders should file a grievance. If something happens to where they can't, where they're over the cap and they have to pay like a tax, they should file like a grievance or something because that's ridiculous. To get 30 million back on their freaking cap after they're like, you're gone, and then all of a sudden he's back like a freaking like a luggage you threw out or
We
something.
didn't mean it, actually.
Oh man, I think I agree with you guys for the most part, but I was kind of I don't know, amazed by the sports media coverage of it because so many different outlets, Albert Breer and Dan Patrick and Good Morning Football or whatever, and a lot of these guys are talking in such a somber tone. Shelby Harris he was like, you know, I feel so badly for the Raiders. You know, they had these plans in place and everything's unraveling for them. It's like, dude, this is day one of free agency. There's a lot of time left. You can still trade him if Max Crosby is still a commodity a lot of teams would want.
The Bears really want him,
But
the Bears need him.
Yeah.
yeah, it was just like,
Bears are gonna be built this year.
well,
Win that
good, better, best. But you know,
defense.
I was listening to, like, Albert Breer too. He was like, "This is so unprecedented, and you know everything changed at 8:02 p.m. Eastern time last night." And I was making the joke, you know, yeah, they want to make this a you remember where you were kind of moment. Like, there's 9/11, there's JFK, there's putting man on the moon, there's the invention of the nuclear bomb. Oh, and when Max Crosby didn't go to the Ravens and the Ravens backed out the last second. Like, I don't. I'm also not like the biggest Max Crosby fan. I just every time I see him, you know, there's been these different little media issues or something where people will try to joke with him, but he's got to be macho man, tough guy all the time, so you can't make jokes with him. Or he's like, well, don't, you know, I don't get that. And I was also saying maybe the Ravens maybe they did him a favor and they're the baby faces here because maybe maybe they were, you know, they're saying it's the knee, but they were looking at his lungs and all that. You know, every time I see him, he's got a cigar in his mouth. I think he's one of those guys that whenever somebody's about to take a picture or video, he wants to pull that out so he looks cool. Maybe his lungs are black. Maybe he's got coal miner lungs.
Maybe.
You're digging deep. You are digging deep.
But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, it is slimy to you know, basically have this verbal kind of agreement, and everybody knew about the meniscus and everything. The Ravens actually did this a couple years ago, I think, or I was looking at Ryan Grant. There's a situation where they're about to sign Ryan Grant. Something happened the same way. I don't know. I feel like it also, I don't. The reputation thing for me is not that big of a deal because I feel like if you're a team and the Ravens have something you want and you think it's going to make you better, uh, you can't not do it. It's like the Vince McMahon principle of, you know, what's best for business. If the Ravens are giving you the best offer, you got to take it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
True.
But I guess in this situation, don't, I don't know, sign a bunch of people and I don't know. I just fucked up, I guess. I lied. Fuck the Ravens. We got John Harbaugh. We got Likely. We're ready to go.
Ricard, their punter.
Yep. And, yeah. So, what was the other? There's a couple other ones. Kenny Walker, guys,
To
thoughts?
the Chiefs.
Amazing.
Meh.
I thought it was a great signing for them.
I think it's a good signing just for the fact that their running back room was in peril. So I think that he will be used properly. I think that this year we were talking about last week that they really tried to limit him with splitting it with Charbonnet so that when they got to the playoffs they could unleash him. Uh, I think that he will do fine. He'll probably rush for 1,000, something like that, or at least have 1,200 all-purpose yards.
I'll say one thing: Kenneth Walker in the second round of fantasy is going to be staring at me like the Goblin Mask.
I will never do it again. I will never do it again. Virtually anybody who was on my team this year, I will never draft again.
Yeah, I get the feeling. I think he's going to break out. I think that he's going to have a really big season. Just looking at the way that Seattle used them, when you do play fantasy football, or if you make sports bets, you see him get rolling, and then for some reason Charbonnet's coming onto the field. I don't really understand why Seattle seemed to underutilize him. But I think that Kansas City is going to get the best out of him. He's a good pass catcher, at least from what I saw. He seemed to be pretty adept in the pass game. So, breaks a ton of tackles. I think is a perfect fit. And I think he's really, really going to break out next year.
Is there-
Walker is the ultimate? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'll shut the fuck
Kenneth
up.
Walker is the I'm sorry, Zach. It's not like
You're
a
not-
show or anything, right?
No, I'm happy to have you guys just talk and me just listen. I'm milking you
Kenneth
guys for
Walker,
content.
Kenneth Walker, I always say, is the ultimate ball test. Ball tester, ball knowledge tester, whatever you want to call it. While his stats aren't eye-popping, it's just what you see he does on the field, how he runs through the holes, how he's so patient. He reminds me a lot of Le'Veon Bell, the way he runs, and
I was going to say he's patient for the blockers.
he's very, very good, but he just doesn't get – he's very efficient. He just doesn't get a lot of touches because they were saving him. But that's
Charbonnet was also producing, so
yeah.
I've been saying since earlier before that even happened, I think that the Rams and the Chiefs are my Super Bowl pick for right now. I mean,
The Rams' greed needs to be studied because they are just hemorrhaging players. That team is getting scarier and scarier by the second.
I mean, I think that they only have the window for as long as Stafford keeps going.
Yeah.
But you also who knows who could come out of the draft? They could spy somebody from afar that nobody was expecting quarterback wise. Not saying this year. In future years, I mean.
Yeah, they look scary. Seeing the moves that they made, they would be my pick in the NFC. I like some of the things the Chargers were doing to improve their areas of weakness in particular. Their interior to offensive line was just horrible. Justin Herbert was playing for his life because then they had the two bookend tackles who are great. Both got hurt. They'll be back next year, hopefully. Then you improve the interior of the line. And their defense was pretty good as well last year. And of course, as a Michigan fan, I am a big believer in Harbaugh. So, I like I think a LA Super Bowl would be really possible. Also, really awkward because, does anybody care about those teams in LA? Either one of them?
Not really. My sisters live in LA, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we won the Super Bowl a few years ago." I'm like, I would kill somebody for the Jets to win a Super Bowl.
You know what I need? I need the ultimate chaos. I need both of them to be the home team for the championship weekend, because then what's going to happen? One plays at 3:30, one plays at 6:30. What are they going to be like, all right, guys.
Yeah.
You can't stay for this game. That new fans come in.
See you, bye. Nobody can come in here.
I really wonder what would their situation be.
I don't know, man. Maybe we'll see.
I'm assuming they would just do a Saturday and a Sunday. I know they usually do the championship Sunday, but maybe they would just break it up.
We can't ever say the Jets and Giants will both have home games for championship weekend, because I don't know when that'll ever happen. But
Very unlikely.
so that was kind of one of the early. To me, it's kind of like a blockbuster because you're talking about two top contending teams trading with each other. Was there any other odd signings that you guys thought were why would you do that, or what was another signing?
Romeo Dobbs to the Pats for $68 million is insane to me.
I think they're seeing something in him that that has potential. I mean, I think that he can be. I think what's his name? Kayshon Boutte.
Mm-hmm.
he's probably going to be wide receiver 1, but I could see Dobbs being a wide receiver 2 for sure. Probably catch around like 8 touchdowns. And
I've been talking up Kyle Williams so much that I need him to do something, otherwise I sound stupid.
He's fast. I think this year they'll start using him more because he was kind of like the wide receiver 4-ish because Mac Hollins came in more because he's a great blocker.
Yeah.
And I think now that he got his feet wet, I think they'll use him a lot more next year.
I agree.
Yeah, I like Dobbs. I'm not gonna lie. I think that Dobbs is gonna potentially break out a little bit too. He's another guy that I think maybe was a bit underutilized in a room that was deep. The Packers really just had a bunch of number twos, and I think that he was the best of the number twos. But him and Jordan Love also just didn't seem to always be on the same page. But Drake May clearly proved himself this year. I think with the more consistent quarterback, he might be able to work a little better. But 70 million was a little rich. I did think that was a little high.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very, but like also you have to think in today's league, all these guys are like, well, you have to pay me at least 50 million. Like,
Speaking of 50 million, 60 million guaranteed for Daniel Jones is just crazy to me.
we said it in the chat the other day. I don't know what is up with this guy, but he's always scoring himself contracts.
Zach and Keith, what do you guys think about this? A guy who just tore his Achilles made 60 million guaranteed. Are you guys not like baffled by that?
Well, I mean, look, we've had this talk before. I like Daniel Jones. I liked him as a Giant. I thought he was kind of given a shitty hand to whatever because the fans automatically didn't like him. Dealt a shitty hand. That's a good way of phrasing it. But when he was drafted 6 out of Duke, people didn't even know who he was, and this is the guy that's going to replace Eli. And Dable's just kind of an idiot. We were told that he was a guru that fixed Josh Allen and made Josh Allen who he was. And I thought he wasn't given any receivers to work with until Neighbors came in. I mean, in that first Dable year, they go to the playoffs. Isaiah Hodgins and Richie James and Darius Slayton were his 3 receivers. Okay, Richie James was the return guy. You don't know who he is anymore. Isaiah Hodgins was on the Bills practice squad. Now he's back. And then Georgia's favorite Darius Slayton. I mean, to go to the playoffs with that team, I don't know. I feel like he was given a tough hand. What was it? What was that phrase, Tim? Dealt a rough hand.
Dealt a shit hand.
So I like him. I don't know about the Colts because I don't know.
I just think coming off a torn Achilles at the age of like, what is he, 28 now?
Around there, probably.
That's especially a guy that's relies on his legs. He's not bad accurately, but he's not like known for super accuracy. He's very mobile. Like,
And he had an ACL too, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he almost broke his back or broke his neck. So I don't know. I'd be kind of weary about that. What about this one? This one I feel kind of bad about. Malik Willis.
Malik Willis to the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And then also Tua to the Falcons. I think that one's worse. So my thing with Malik Willis is a lot of people saw that game he had against the Ravens, and I said to myself, I said, Jesus Christ, Matt LaFleur is going to get a GM fired for this because I think it was more of the Packers scheme overall than Malik Willis doing well. I could be wrong, but I guess we'll have to see what happens in Miami. He's got a lot of weapons there. Unless they trade A-Chain, he's going to have a lot to work with, so I'll be rooting for him. Hopefully he does well. So
I don't know anybody that dislikes him. I think everybody that watched him play, even Lions fans, I'm sure Keith will say, he looked better than Love out there. It's a good story because he from the Titans where he was immediately labeled a bust, but that's just a shit organization. Matt LaFleur knows how to kind of to scheme these guys and get them good looks and put them in the right positions and whatever. And he looked great out there, but now you're going to go to Miami with a first-time head coach and a completely different situation. And I think people, I was talking to the Sports Reel guys in one of their shows, and it was like, "Oh no, Malik Willis is going to be good. Didn't you see what he did last year?" I'm like, "Yeah, but didn't you see what he did as a Titan? Coaching matters." You know what I mean? So, there's so many of these guys that they're in a good situation. They look good, but then when you take all that stuff away, that's the kind of the Fernando Mendoza thing that I have, where it's like great defense, great line, great running back, great coaching. You're taking all that away. He's gonna go to the Raiders, and he's got. They did get some players now, so they still don't have receivers. I don't know about that line.
Keeps his spirits up. That's all they need.
But yeah, I wish the
Yeah.
best for him.
Yeah, I feel the same way that you do, Zach, about the quarterbacks like Malik Willis, where it really seems more now than ever that it's about what you put around these guys and like how you support them. Because I could see Malik Willis, the situation going like either way. At the same time, with the Atlanta situation, that's the one where I'm like, I don't understand what a team like the Falcons is doing. Like you have two left-handed, super injury prone, non near elite quarterbacks. Like I I don't know what your team ceiling is when you're putting those kind of quarterbacks or your roster. Like they're going to be average at best. You know that.
Not only that,
I
they pay
just
$100 million for this guy. Like,
yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand.
yeah, that's almost exactly
Wild.
what I said the other day.
Did you guys see when the Dolphins posted Tua leaving, and it was like one of those graphics like his career achievements, and it said like 4-time team captain, led the league in passing for like 15 weeks or something like that.
And many concussions.
Oh man. Yeah, the Falcons have to be some like humiliation ritual type thing.
I
'cause
know. I
don't
really
what-
don't know what's going on with them.
What's the logic behind getting him? Are they just trying to put a band-aid over a gunshot wound? Because they got the Drake London, they got the Kyle Pitts, they got the Bijans, and then I guess they can't find the quarterback, so they're like, oh, maybe we'll put Tua there and he'll unlock them. I don't know.
Who knows, man? Well,
And this is following, paying Kirk Cousins what they paid him for, that's strange. But is there any other things that stand out to you guys? I'm not sure. I was going to list all these things, but I just figured we kind of been having a good conversation just talking about certain players.
Mike Evans to the Niners was pretty interesting to me. I feel like he'll do solid in an offense that has a lot of mouths to feed. I feel like he'll thrive there, especially with that scheme. Shanahan, I think he'll be solid there. People are saying he's going to be like Kevin Garnett in the Nets, but I'm like, I don't know. Mike Evans has been so consistent for so long. He'll easily get 800 yards.
I feel like
minimum.
that's a solid comparison, though.
Yeah, but he didn't get traded for 5 first-round picks, so
yeah,
it's
you're
okay.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they had to get somebody. That the Brandon Ayuk situation's crazy because
God.
he's just lost in limbo and crashing out.
He's crazy.
Absolutely.
Here's a true story. I had Brandon Ayuk in my dynasty league. He was the guy I drafted in the first year. The week before he tore his ACL, I traded Brandon Ayuk and my first for CeeDee Lamb in a third, and then it worked out great for me. Sorry, Donnie, for that happening to you, but I dodged a bullet there, tearing his ACL. Then it's been gone ever since. Oh well.
I'll tell you one more quick story before you go. I got a crazier trade. This is baseball, so it's a little lamer, but I traded Wander Franco for Sonny Gray and Dylan Cease 2 days before his stuff came out.
Wait, was this when? Where were we when that happened? Weren't you with us?
No, I was doing the draft when I was with you one
Oh,
year.
oh,
But yeah,
yeah,
but
we
yeah.
were in Florida when you were doing it.
that was 2021. Yeah, but this was 2023. I
Gotcha.
traded Wander Franco like 3 days
I
before
was gonna say
his stuff came out that he was dating a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, what a horrible situation.
Terrible.
So I'm glad
I forgot he was a person.
George
I
just
think we should forget about that.
made a great segue, George, because before we started, I was saying I kind of wanted we had ended on this. Bam Adebayo, is that how his name? Ab. I'm doing ab instead of ad. 83 points. I have very mixed emotions and feelings about this. Keith,
So
we've talked basketball a little bit before. What do you think about this accomplishment?
impressive for sure, up until the fact that they were intentionally fouling
Is your name Keith?
games. Oh, you said Keith. My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, Keith. Go ahead.
Nah, it's all good. Nah, it's all good. I feel the same way, honestly. I felt like definitely impressive. Like I was at a basketball game, actually. I was at a basketball game in Brooklyn here. And somebody was like, Bam has 31 in the first quarter. And I'm like, oh shit, like, okay, go ahead, do your thing. And then somebody turned around like later in the game and it's like, he has 81. And I'm like, no, he doesn't. Like, knock it off. But it was impressive. It definitely was impressive. I don't want to take anything away. Scoring 83 points in an NBA game against somewhat NBA players. I don't know what the fuck the Wizards are doing, but
Weird. True.
yeah, like very, very garbage kind of organization over there. But it's impressive. But the only thing that stands out to me is the fact that if you would have asked me what player was going to score more points than Kobe Bryant in a game, Bam Adebayo would have probably been like 73rd.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like very, very low on the list.
This is like Romeo Dubes going for 350.
Doubts.
Exactly. We don't even know his name. So imagine him going for 350. Like, yeah, Adebayo's was just it was interesting. It was very interesting. Good for him though. He is a really good player, but I think defense for Adebayo more than scoring 80 points.
All right, Tim, go ahead.
I agree. No, well, that basically me and Keith said the same thing, is that we don't want to take anything away, but there was also some questionable shit to it. And I think that Silver should come in and be like, hey guys, that was awesome and everything, and the game may not have technically been over, but you can't foul when you're up 20 so that you can get more possessions. That's not cool. That's just prolonging the game. So that's just my opinion.
I can't blame Bam and the Heat for taking advantage, but definitely everyone should be pissed off at Adam Silver for what he's created. Because this league has become a disgrace.
It's messy.
So what I didn't like,
Still love it though.
so what I didn't like this at all. And I feel bad for Bam because he was having a career game that 99% of players that ever play the game would love to have had, because he was legitimately getting like 60 something before things kind of got weird. Or he was like at 70 before things kind of got weird. And that's impressive. And I respect that, and good player, and he seems like a nice guy. This NBA season started with the bombshell FBI indictments, all these people getting arrested for point shaving and gambling and all these different prop bets and everything. And then there's the scandal in college basketball. So the NBA has been under a microscope, and then obviously the thing that's going on with the Clippers and Kawhi. It's been a terrible year for the NBA with scandals and losing their credibility and their legitimacy. And I'm thinking, look, the Heat was up like 30 points basically, and for like the last 7 or 8 minutes, you got guys fouling on purpose and missing free throws on purpose so that he can get more touches and stuff. And I mean, the Wizards, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell what they were trying to do because they were fouling him immediately, and this guy's despite what his career free throw percentage was that game, he was lights out, 36 for 43 or whatever. And to me, this is like the most blatant fucking like, this should be how can you have people gambling on this? How can you count this when you're watching guys not play the game at all for 7 or 8 minutes? There's no one can. If I'm Adam Silver, I'm flying down there and say, you are all suspended. I would suspend the fucking refs. You're letting this happen?
Timmy said it best. I said to him and Nick on our last episode, did you guys see the last 5 minutes of that game? He goes, oh, you mean the last hour?
Yeah, exactly.
An unopened box? Wow.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it either. The way that some of the things in the NBA is going, and I hate it because I'm such a big fan of the sport. I think there's so many talented players in the league. I think the league is at a point where talent is at an all-time high, and there's so many good teams to watch and so many good games. But these things are just, it's something stupid. It feels like every other week that kind of takes away from it. And again, shout out to Bam for scoring his points. Like I would do the same thing if I was in his position, but at the same time, it's just always something weird with the gambling and the manipulation of the games. Like,
Exactly.
can we just do things straight up for once? Like, why does it always have to be something weird attached to it? The players can hold it up. They're good enough for the product to hold up. We don't have to do this weird shit every now and then.
I mean, like my thing, like I said, I was kind of distracted. My girlfriend found a box of Pokemon cards that haven't been opened yet. But you like I said, you have these investigations going on. They're still ongoing, of like Keith said, manipulating the game and manipulating scores. And you had guys that were just brazenly, blatantly, openly fucking around in a regular season NBA game. And I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way that there's people that have no problem with it. And I think they want to give Bam his respect, but that was a fucking disaster. That I don't know why this is not a bigger story.
I agree. Because so many young people are just like, oh my God, he outscored Kobe in his best game. And it's like, Kobe also, like, I don't think he shot 44 free throws.
No, he didn't. He shot 20 something.
Yeah, which is still kind of wild. But, I mean, for 81 points.
Dude, it's worse because I remember very vividly one of the most famous things about Kobe's 81-point game was Stuart Scott right after the game giving us the highlights, and it's him scoring. What's Bam's highlights going to be? Him sitting at the freaking free throw line for the last 5 minutes? Like you can go back and rewatch Kobe's 81-point game and see how great it was. This game I will never sit down and rewatch again. That was the worst fourth quarter I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, that's a great point. Looking at Bam's highlights, it's like the first quarter was legit, and then after that, it was like nothing but a few run-out dunks on fast breaks, and then a whole bunch of fouls and drives to the rim. It's just not. It's not fun. It feels like Adam Silver is definitely abiding by the whole "there's no such thing as bad press" thing, where he just wants headlines, and it's like you got headlines, but some of them are good and some of them are not so good. He just wants the attention, and I'm like, you got it, Adam. You got it.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I'm at a loss for words. I'm just irritated with it because I loved the NBA growing up. Like I said before, me and my friends used to get together, case of beer, 2K, watching games. You want to see the matchups. We can't see matchups anymore because somebody's always resting. And then you got shit like this where now it's whose line is it anyways? The points don't matter, the rules don't matter. Just have fun with your friends, guys.
Who's not tanking? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I think we're cutting it close on time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, last resorts,
I
ups and downs, highs and lows.
will be
Rose and Thorn.
I will be happy George, positive George, as long as we don't take a running back in the first round. That's my final thoughts on the Giants for the rest of free agency.
Final thoughts on the Jets. I expect nothing this upcoming year.
I'll say final thoughts on Detroit sports in general. While the Heat and the Wizards are playing a fake basketball game, the Nets and the Pistons are playing a real basketball game that I got to go to. And I was able to get my shirt signed by Cade Cunningham. So
Wow,
we're really high still off of that.
nice.
I love that.
That's great. We all like Cade.
Oh,
Very ethical hooper. Very ethical hooper.
yeah, and Lou Dort is a disgrace to basketball. That's
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%. We could finish it on that. I agree.
So yeah, I want to say thank you guys again for coming on and basically carrying the show, giving me some content, and I'll always return the favor. I apologize to Valley. I've bailed on them twice for different silly reasons, but I'll try to be available if they ever need me. Keith, I'm always available if you need me. I'll let you guys sign off and plug your stuff again, and we'll get out of here.
All right. At Valley Sports Pod.
Well, I was gonna say,
You go.
be sure to check out our page. Me and Timmy also do side projects. I do top 5 videos. Timmy does deep dives, different athletes. This month, I've been all March Madness. Next week, we're going to do a full episode where we're going to do the entire bracket, just me, Timmy, and Nick. And we're probably going to have a fun contest between us three. The loser has to do something. So
Why don't we get a podcast bracket pool going?
Well,
Guys want to do like a little $10, $20 little pool?
well, I'm doing if you guys watch the Sim Bros podcast, I'm doing their bracket pool. They're giving out 1,000 for the winner of that pool. If you guys want to get that link and join up with us, we're doing a little contest between our little podcast and we're joining their pool. So if you guys want to join that one, I could send the links to you.
Heck
For
yeah.
sure,
For
most
free.
definitely.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Valley Sports on TikTok and YouTube. Keith.
Yes, sir.
411 Lions, TikTok, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, all those things, wherever you can find podcasts, wherever you can find viral clips, things like that. We'll have a new episode out tomorrow. It's recording tonight. So definitely check us out.
Thanks again. Shout out everybody who made it through this. I think we did good on time. Jive Sports. My new co-host Keith. No more Skylar or Brandon. Thanks again. Be good.